Samsy. Okay, guys, here we go. We got some story time from the San Juan Mountains. We're in Big Ol' Ronnie from Caton Campground and Lizard Head Pass. We got kind of a twofer going on today. And, the story, Arabian Nights, Part 10. And the worst of all things possible, the story starts off, we left it off, I chickened out and bailed out, there was a whole bunch of poems coming, and now I realize I have to start today's story with a bunch of poems. So, here we go. This is like chopped liver coming up here. All right, let's talk about this this video a little bit. We're up the inset video there. We're up at Lizard Head Pass, and we just kind of mucking around, just kind of goofing around to see who all stays up here at this kind of elevation for free. Because it's a beautiful spot, but I never stay here because there's a campground just down the road that we go to at Caton Campground, and that's where we're coming from today. And all of these pictures are from Caton Campground, and the video there is we're going to be goofing around here for a bit up at the Lizard Head Pass, and then we're gonna wheel on down the road towards Rico and end up in Rico. And as you can see already, we're going to mix in some pictures of the campground. So I think I have delayed as long as I can, and we're going to pick it up with just a little bit of backstory so we can work our way into these poems. So, now, when the Sultan heard the mournful voice, he sprang to his feet, and, following the sound, found a curtain let down over a chamber door. He raised it and saw behind it a young man sitting upon a couch about a cubit above the ground. And he fair to the sight, a well-shaped wight, with eloquence dight. His forehead was flower white, his cheek rosy bright, and a mole on his cheek breadth like an ambergris might. Even as the poet clothed in dight. See, now we get started on the poetry. That was just the regular words. All right, here we go. That's my leaf blower, or lawnmower. I mean, that's the one I'm looking for. Okay, a youth, slim-waisted, from whose locks and brow the world in blackness and in light is set. Throughout creation's round no fairer show, no rarer sight thine eye has ever met. A nut-brown mole sits throned upon a cheek of rosiest red beneath an eye of jet. Huh. The king rejoiced and saluted him, but he remained sitting in his kaftan of silken stuff, brede with Egyptian gold, and his crown studded with gems of sorts. But his face was sad, with the traces of sorrow. He returned the royal salute in most courteous wise, adding, O my lord, the dignity demandeth my rising to thee, and my sole excuse is to crave thy pardon. Quoth the king, Thou art excused, O youth. So look upon me as thy guest come hither, on a special object. I would thou acquaint me with the secrets of this tarn and its fishes, and of this place and thy loneliness therein, and the cause of thy groaning and wailing. When the young man heard these words, he wept with sore weeping, till his bosom was drenched with tears, and began reciting, oh, let me guess, another poem. Boy, can't wait. Oh, can't wait. Maybe I can accidentally, oh, no, pages wouldn't even stick together. Say him who careless sleeps, what while the shaft of fortune flies, how many cloth this shifting world lay low and rise to me. Although thine eye be sealed in sleep, sleep not thou. Almighty's eyes, and who hath found time ever fair, or fate in constant guise. Then he sighed, a long fetching sigh, and recited, confide thy case to him, the Lord who made mankind. Quit cark and care, and cultivate content of mind. Ask not the past, or how, or why it came to pass. All human things by fate and destiny were designed. The king marveled, and asked him, what maketh thee weep, O young man? And he answered, how should I not weep, when this is my case? Thereupon he put out his hand, and raised the skirt of his garment, when lo, the lower half of him appeared stone down to his feet, while from his navel to the hair of his head he was man. The king, seeing this his plight, grieved with sore grief, and of his compassion cried, alack, and well away, in very sooth, O youth, thou heapest sorrow upon my sorrow. I was minded to ask thee the mystery of the fishes only, whereas now I am concerned to learn thy story as well as theirs. But there is no majesty, and there is no might save in Allah, the glorious, the great. Lose no time, O youth, but tell me forthright thy whole tale. Quoth he, lend me thine ears, thy sight, and thine insight. And, quoth the king, all are at thy service. Thereupon the youth began, right wondrous and marvelous is my case, and that all these fishes, and were it graven with gravers upon the eye corners, it were a warner to whoso would be warned. How is that? Asked the king, and the young man began to tell the tale of the ensorcelled prince. Well, there you go. Let's just take a peekaboo and see where we're at on this here trip. Oh yes, more flowers, more flowers. The Caton, all of the pictures are from the Caton campground there, and it's various times of the year. We used to stop there quite often. As much as we could, by the way. Every time we were in the area, we were like, oh, maybe there's a spot at Caton. And, yeah, so that's what that's all about. And we getting closer to Rico there. Yep. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. The Tale of the Ensorcelled Prince. Now then, O my lord, that Willem, my sire, was king of this city, and his name was Mahmud, entitled Lord of the Blacklands, and owner of what are now these 4 mountains. Oh, you can own a mountain? He's owner of these 4 mountains. He ruled 70 years. What? 70 years? 70 years. After which he went to the mercy of the Lord, and I reigned as Sultan in his stead. I took to wife my cousin, the daughter of my paternal uncle, and she loved me with such abounding love that whenever I was absent, she ate not, and she drank not until she saw me again. She cohabitated with me for 5 years, till a certain day when she went forth to the Hammam bath, and I bade the cook hasten to get ready all requisites for our supper. And I entered this palace, and I lay down on the bed where I was wont to sleep, and bade 2 damsels to fan my face, one sitting by my head, and the other at my feet. But I was troubled and made restless by my wife's absence, and could not sleep. For although my eyes were closed, my mind and thoughts were wide awake. Presently, I heard the slave girl at my head say to her at my feet, "Oh, Masuda, how miserable is our master, and how wasted in his youth, and oh, the pity of his being so betrayed by our mistress, the accused whore." The other replied, "Yes, indeed. Allah curse all faithless women and adulterous, but the like of our master, with his fair gifts, deserveth something better than this harlot who lieth abroad every night." Then quoth she who sat by my head, "Is our Lord dumb or fit only for bubbling, that he questioned her not?" And quoth the other, "Fie on thee! Doth our Lord know his ways, or doth she allow him his choice? Nay, more doth she not drug every night the cup she giveth him to drink before sleep time, and put bahang into it, so he sleepeth and wotteth not whither she goeth, nor what she doeth. But we know that after giving him the drugged wine, she donneth her richest raiment, and perfumeth herself, and then she fareth out from him to be away till break of day. Then she cometh to him, and burneth a pastile under his nose, and he awaketh from his death-like sleep." When I heard the slave girl's words, the light became black before my sight, and I thought night would never fall. Presently, the daughter of my uncle came from the baths, and they set the table for us, and we ate and sat together at fair half-hour, quaffing our wine, as was ever our wont. Then she called for the particular wine I used to drink before sleeping, and reached me the cup, but, seeming to drink it according to my wont, I poured the contents into my bosom, and, laying down, let her hear that I was asleep. Oh boy, you know what's going to come now. Yep, you know what's happening now. This always backfires. Okay, death like sleep. Okay, that I was asleep. Then, behold, she cried, sleep out the night and never wake again. By Allah, I loathe thee, and I loathe the whole body, thy whole body, and my soul turneth in disgust from cohabitating with thee. And I see not the moment when Allah shall snatch away thy life. Then she arose and donned her fairest dress and perfumed her person, and slung my sword over her shoulder, and opening the gates of the palace, went her ill way. I rose and followed her as she left the palace, and she threaded the streets until she came to the city gate, where she spoke words I understood not. Where she spoke words I understood not. And the padlocks dropped of themselves as if broken, and the gate leaves opened. She went forth, and I after her, without her noticing aught, till she came at last to the outlying mounds and reed fence built about a round-roofed hut of mud bricks. As she entered the door, I climbed upon the roof, which commanded a view of the interior, and lo, my fair cousin had gone into a hideous Negro slave with his upper lip like the cover of a pot, and his lower like an open pot. Lips which might sweep up sand from the gravel floor of the cot. He was to boot a leper and a paralytic lying. He was to boot a leper and a paralytic lying upon a strew of sugarcane trash and wrapped in an old blanket and the foulest rags and tatters. She kissed the earth before him, and he raised his head so as to see her, and said, Woe to thee! What call hadst thou to stay away all this time? Here have been with me sundry of the black brethren who drank their wine, and each had his young lady, and I was not content to drink because of thine absence. Oh, then she, O my lord, my heart's love, and cooeth of my eyes, knowest that thou not that I am married to my cousin, whose very look I loathe and hate myself when in his company, and did not I fear for thy sake, I would not let a single sun arise before making his city a ruined heap, wherein raven should croak, and howlet hoot, and jackal and wolf harbor and loot. Nay, I had removed its very stones to the backside of Mount Kaf. Rejoined the slave, Thou liest, damn thee! Now I swear an oath by the valor and honor of blackamoor men, and deem not our manliness to be the poor manliness of white men. From today forth, if thou stay away till this hour, I will not keep company with thee, nor will I glue my body with thy body, and strum and belly bump. Dost play fast and loose with us, thou cracked pot, that we may satisfy thy dirty lust, stinkered bitch, vilest of the vile whites. When I heard his words, and I saw my own eyes what passed between those two wretches, the world waxed dark before my face, and my soul knew not in what place it was. But my wife humbly stood up, weeping before, and wheedling the slave, and saying, O my beloved, and very fruit of my heart, there is none left to cheer me but thy dear self. And if thou cast me off, who shall take me in, O beloved, O light of my eyes? And she ceased not weeping and abasing herself to him until he deigned be reconciled with her. Then was she right glad, and stood up, and doffed her clothes, even to her petticoat trousers, and said, O my master, what hast thou here for thy handmaiden to eat? Uncover the basin, he grumbled, and thou shalt find at the bottom the broiled bones of some rats who dined on. Picked at them, and then go to that slop pot where thou shalt find some leavings of beer, which thou mayest drink. So she ate, and drank, and washed her hands, and went and lay down by the side of the slave upon the cane trash, and stripped herself stark naked, and she crept in with him under his foul coverlet and rags and tatters. Okay, no, all right, we're gonna have to call it quits right there. Okay, guys, thanks so much for coming along, and we're gonna pick up this story. We'll have to figure out what's going on there, because it sounds like we've kind of taken a turn there. Samsi. Okay, and we'll leave you with just a few seconds of Big Old Rosie, because that makes me feel good right there. You go, Big Rosie.